Well, I just recorded a like 5 minutes, no, not even 5 minutes, it was 10 minutes for this guide, and then realised I wasn't recording, so that is... Anyways, welcome to this 2.8 guide. I say 2.8 guide, it is going to be more of a general prediction level guide, although more specifically 2.8, because I think that's where most people tend to struggle the most. But yeah, I find most people struggle a lot when they're new to the game with the prediction or just night in general, first flag of night in general. So I decided to do this guide. I don't know how else this is going to go. This is going to be mostly improv, to be honest. But I'm going to try and explain like every decision I make, no matter how small, and all my thought process. So first things first, I noticed that there's 2 cones and 6 normals on this preview. This isn't, you don't need to know the specifics. It does help you to just like be generally aware of the preview, for a reason I'm going to come on to a little bit later. But 2 cone 6 normals I know means that every wave except from 1 will have a cone head in it, other than the dancer. So I know that there's going to be only 1 wave where I don't get a cone head. So the seed select, very basic knowledge, but this is a seed select. Ignore the fact that I menued horribly there. My mouse is in a different position than it usually. So we don't bring fume, which is the major thing that people usually seem to forget. And the reason for that is that it's just way too much sun for something that doesn't really help us. Because the fume stream is great for like a final wave or when there's a ton of zombies in one lane. This is a 1 flag level, so you're not really going to be getting a ton of zombies in the same lane. And in the final wave, where it seems like it would be most helpful, we're going to be cherry bombing where the highest concentration of zombies is anyway. So it really isn't that helpful. And like, it seems like a great solution for the dancer, but in the final wave we're going to try and cherry the dancer, and on wave 6, if you're going to spend 75 sun, you should spend it on a hypno, if you are going to spend that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the level. So, first things first. Okay, oh, that is not what I meant to do. First things first, push room prioritization. You'll see I just prioritized this push room first, and I'll try and explain why I do that. So, what goes through my head? Well, there's 2 things I really consider when thinking about push room. Is that, where is the first push room going to be? If I plan it, well, like, where does first... I'm not explaining myself well. Let me gather my thoughts for a second. Okay, so I should, before I talk about my rules, I should just say one thing, is that column 7 is the best place for the push room to be. This is something you learn quite early on. Yeah, the column 7 means that the push room can solo a normal zombie. It will always be able to kill it, and it won't die in the process, if you have it pre-planted there. So you really want to plant it in column 7. And if the first zombie spawns, and you don't have a push room there, if it's fast enough, you might have to plant it in column 6. And so then the zombie has to walk into this tile before the push room starts shooting, which is obviously slower. So I want to make sure that I minimize the amount of times that that's going to happen. I really want to be able to shoot have the push room shoot immediately as soon as it sees a zombie. So it needs to be column 7 or later. So in this case, on the middle row, I can't plant a push room in column 7 because there's a grave there. So if I don't plant a push room and the first zombie spawns there, I can't plant it column 8 because the push room will die. So I need to plant it column 6, and the zombie has to wait to walk into this tile. On this lane, if I don't, it's even worse actually. It doesn't seem like it's worse because column 7 isn't blocked. But if I don't plant the push room column 7, then the first zombie will spawn. It might be too fast for me to plant it safely, and so I have to put it column 5, which is going to take ages for this zombie to walk in. What I might end up doing instead is actually I might end up planting it column 7 anyways, activate the rule, and then like send it to the mower or place another perf, and it's just awkward. So this is a really high prioritization when there's a column 6 grave, but column 7 is. And then column 8, this row 3 is the second highest priority, because the first zombie, I need to plant it column 8 so that it can be immediately seen. Then I also need to be able to plant another puff in column 6 so that this puff doesn't die. And then the second thing I consider, because I said there were 2 things I consider, mainly, the second thing I consider is whether I can double puff, because if the first zombie spawns on a row, you really want to be able to double puff it so you can save time on wave 1 and maybe even save time on wave 2 if the next zombie spawns there, which it's decently likely to do, because wave 2 doesn't follow the same rules as every other wave for reasons. So you really want to be able to double puff. So row 1 and row 5 are actually negative priority for me because I can't double puff in column 7 and column 8. So this row is the next highest priority for me. So you'll see that I end up puffing this one first. I mean, it doesn't really matter, like, if you do first, second, or third, but first priority, second priority, third priority for me. Now, the zombies may end up spawning row 1 and row 5, but it doesn't mean I made a bad mistake. Okay, in this case I actually get a really nice spawn. I'm gonna double puff. Yeah, sometimes zombies won't spawn where your puffs are, but it doesn't mean you made a mistake, it just means that, like, R&D wasn't kind in that instance. Okay, double puff there. I waited a second. I usually don't like doing that, but if it's just, like, a second tops, I will do it. And then here we go. Okay. This is a little bit awkward, because I know I'm going to... Hold on, let me explain myself. Because of that preview, I saw like it had 2 cones, 6 normal, so I know I'm going to get a lot of cones. So this could be really bad, because it's pretty likely the next wave is a cone. But, another thing I have to consider, also, why is my timer has just not been going for a while. I'm just going to leave it. Oh, great. Okay. Sure, we don't need a timer, whatever. This is really well organised. Anyways, I know I'm going to get a lot of cones, but I also know I'm going to get 1 normal wave. And I also know that the normal wave is more likely to be in wave 4 or wave 5 than it is wave 7, 8 or 9. So, I'm going to make an educated guess that I'm going to get 1 cone wave and 1 normal wave. So, what are the characteristics of those 2? Well, a cone wave has 1 zombie, whereas a normal wave has 2 zombies. Sorry for, like, being patronising. But let's just, like, for example, maybe the cone head goes top next, and then there's a normal zombie here, and a normal zombie here. That means that the 4 most recent rows have been here, 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 and here. So, wave 6, which is the scripted dancer zombie, is most likely to go here, because this is where the second wave was. If it was instead 2 normal waves, it would be something like here, 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 then the most likely spot would be this row. And then if it was 2 cone waves, it would likely be here, here, and most likely spot for dancer would be row 4, because that's where the first wave was. So, as a rule of thumb, I would say potato mine where either wave 2 or wave 3 were, depending which one is the best potato mine spot for, like, you know, if the grave is blocking it, for instance. So I'm going to try and prediction here, unless my hypothesis gets turned out wrong. And it does, so, you know... Okay, now it seems pretty likely that Dancer will spawn here. But I'm not on non-game of the year, so... Okay. I'm going to do this. So, that seems a little bit crazy what I just did there. So my hypothesis turned out wrong because the spawns didn't want to make sense. Which happens, you know, it happens. But I do see now that there was a cone here and a normal here. So it's pretty likely that Dancer will go middle. You might be thinking, hold on a second, shouldn't it go bottom? Like, that, there's been nobody there the entire level. That makes a lot of sense to go bottom. Which, yeah, it does, but the Dancer has an interesting property. It will only spawn in the middle 3 rows. So you only have to pay attention, really, to your prediction in the middle 3 rows. It does cause some weirdness with Dancer and its spawns, but this is just, like, generally, you know... the Dancer can just choose to be mean sometimes, but, you know, whatever. That's kind of how I predict. And the reason I just dig up those puffs is because I really want this mine to come up before the Dancer gets here. And I planted it a little bit later than I usually do because I was very unsure of where the Dancer was likely to spawn, because this cone head kind of threw off my hypothesis a ton. So I'm now digging these up so that 50% will activate slower. Which might be a bad investment in the end, but we'll see. Nice. There we go. Just as I planned. Okay, I need to get a puff down here because there has not been a guy there recently. Okay. Anyways, another thing I've been thinking about this entire level is the final wave. So, my plan for the final wave, because you really need to be thinking about the final wave from the very beginning of the level. Literally the moment you enter the level and see the graves. This looks like a pretty nice cherry. This is the first thing I saw. This looks like a pretty nice cherry. It includes 4 graves, includes 2 of the dancer spots, and yeah. And this looks like a great potato mine, because I can plant that in preparation for a potential dancer and maybe kill the dancer in the final wave, which would simplify things a lot. To do that, I need to bust this grave for sure, and ideally one of these 2 graves. Now, if you're a beginner runner, that's probably going to be pretty easy, because you will have a lot more sun, because you're going slower, and so you'll have more sun, you'll be able to generate more sun, because you have more time. And so you'll be able to afford the grave busters. But if you're going fast, and especially if you get the prediction, you're likely not going to have a lot of sun, so I might only be able to bust this 1 grave. Because I also need the sun for the cherry bomb and the potato mine. That being said, this wave is pretty slow, so I might be able to get the sun I need. Okay. I don't get to protect that, so let's do this. Not a great investment scare though. This is a good investment scare though. Okay, the next wave is wave 9, so I need to kill it completely. Okay, I'm gonna just do this. Now, this could be really good, actually. Let me potato mine. I'm playing mine early, so that maybe it can get the dancer. This Hypno could be really good. Because I'm not including the top row in my cherry bomb, and so this Conehead could do a lot of work. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the Grave Buster in time for this. I just need to... I might end up Hypno-ring this later. The mine works out. That's unfortunate, but mine did work out. Okay, let's Hypno that first. So because the reason I Hypno that first is because it means that if I were to cherry first instead, it would mean that I'd have to Hypno and then wait for this guy to kill. Now I can Hypno, and as he's killing, I can cherry bomb. Like, as I'm gathering sun, he's killing, I can cherry bomb. There's a lower limiting factor. And there we go. That was a very good level. I don't know exactly what time that was, because I messed up with my live split by not starting the timer when I was meant to, because I'm an idiot. So yeah, now let's try again. Well, don't we? Oh wait, actually, you know what I should do? I should close the game. I just realised I need to close the game because the grave layout won't reset if I don't close the game, and I should probably play with a different grave layout. Let's try and do this in real time. Might be hard to explain everything in real time, but I'll try my best. Okay. 1 cone. That's... Why is my game weird? Okay, 1 cone and 7 normals. Gotcha. So that encourages third wave very nicely. Now I am on Game of the Year, so I can only potato mine in column 9. If you're on non-Game of the Year, you can do it in column 8. So you could. This is also a viable prediction. Now the cherry bomb, this would be a great mower later on if I can get that. Okay, this guy's slow, so even though I didn't plant the push him there, I can do that safely because he's so slow. So this is where I want to mine. This is also maybe a good cherry if I bust this grave, and then I need to bust this. That's a lot of graves I need to bust. Although this one doesn't have to be busted immediately. Like, a guy can spawn out here and it can be fine. So I just need that for the cherry. That's where the second guy is. Okay, it's looking like this guy. Also, that was a very unfortunate puff timing. It looks like this is where the dancer will be. Yeah, unfortunate. So if I was on non-Game of the Year, I would definitely potato mine this. As it is, I'm not going. I can't do that. I can't get prediction like that, so I'm not going to. I'm instead going to hope that it just disobeys the laws of the game. Oh, and it's looking pretty likely. I'm not going to speed this up a ton because I know I'm going to be waiting on the mine anyway, so there's no point in scaring. And there we go. That was very nice. I kind of wanted to not get predictions so I could show how to deal with Dancer, but it's fine. Okay. This guy's fast. Okay, I like this. I'm going to send this guy to Moa, because this looks like an awesome Moa opportunity. I might end up having to hypno a guy later on. I'm going to do this. Maybe a bad idea. Might end up having to hypno a guy on wave 9. It's looking like it, yeah. Let's just do that. Okay, now I know Dance can't spawn here, so I'm going to wait a little bit on the on the mine, so that maybe you guys can move up, although that was a little bit earlier than I intended even. Oh, that's not great. Okay, now I need to try and keep this guy here, if possible, so that everybody can get grouped up safely. And there you have it. 248. That was a very nice level. I mean, it was a one cone preview, and I got the prediction, so, and I got to use a really cool mower. But let's try again. Maybe this time the dancer prediction won't go correctly. I'm just too good at the game, guys. that's really not it at all. Free cone. Okay, that means max cones. So every wave is going to be a cone. Ooh, that is interesting. Okay, I think Cherry is going to end up being here. Bust this wave, mine here. For maybe Dancer, and also because there's a grave there. Maybe I can bust this wave too if I get time, or if I have sun. Which, to be fair, it's a free cone preview, so maybe I will have a sun. Prioritizing puffs, as you can see there. Nice. So that's likely where the dance is going to be, unless the second spawn is there, which it could be. Then it might be. Okay. So it's very likely to be there. Now I am. Okay, if the wave 4 cone is. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I'm going to wait for wave 5 because it's a cone head, so it's not going to happen super fast. So I can probably plan to mine on wave 5. See where it is. Okay, that's because it's going to be a cone head on wave 5. It's going to be slow enough. I can plan to mine in wave 5. That being said, I'm probably just going to plant it here, but it's likely going to be middle. Okay, I'm going to just get guys here for preparing for this dancer. So this guy just spawned here, so it's not likely to go there. I have mine here in case it does go there. Very likely to come here, so I have already planted some guys there. Dig up this mine. I'm digging up that mine because that seems counterintuitive, but it means that this guy dies later, and so this guy won't summon his backup. So it seems weird, but that does actually mean there's less health that you have to deal with. Okay, I could have planted another mine actually. Sorry, not to. Okay, I can bust this grave. Okay. You can also hypno the dancer if you have the sun, which is decently likely you do. Okay, this guy's slow, so I'm probably not going to be able to hypno him super quickly. I'm going to plant that mine as soon as possible. I do have enough sun for another grave buster. Maybe even I can grave bust this. I probably can actually, because it's not been going very fast. And I've been able to build up a lot of sun. This is very clean, and look at that, that's very nice. Now there aren't actually a lot of guys in this huge wave, so it is really just the dancer. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Okay, it's fine though. Okay, free cone preview, didn't get the dancer prediction, but still sub 3. I did get the dancer in the final wave though. Anyways, one important note about that final wave is that there really are not a lot of zombies in it. There's the dancer zombie, there's 1 cone head, there's 4 normal zombies, and there's a flag zombie. So, if you do the maths, that's only 7 zombies total in the final wave. So that really is not a lot. So you saw that I got the prediction on that dancer, and then there were no zombies behind it at all, because it's just not that likely. So the main thing you have to worry about in that final wave is the dance if you don't get if you don't kill it with the potato mine, and then the grave zombies. So one important thing that is really important for mindset, I think, which is obviously always like an issue, you have to like think about, is that even if you like don't get a prediction, even if you get a free cone preview and everything's going awfully, because you're going slower, you are generating more sun, and so you can bust more graves and make the final wave much easier and much faster. So you saw that final wave was so easy, even though I let a cone go by accident. That final wave was very easy, it was very quick, and even though I had the free cone preview and I didn't get the prediction, it went very well, because I was able to bust 3 graves, and you'll probably be able to, if you're just starting out, you'll probably be able to bust even more graves. So that's really the thing, you always have to, that's my main bit of advice for 2A and all night levels really, apart from actually 2-9, is you have to be thinking about the final wave always. From the very beginning, focus on where am I going to cherry for the final wave, where am I going to potato mine for the final wave, what graves do I need to bust for the final wave. Don't think in the short term when you're grave busting, think in the long term, which graves are going to be the most annoying in the final wave. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Maybe I'll do some more of this if people like it. But yeah, have fun speedrunning Plants vs Zombies maybe, hopefully. See you there. See you where? I should just end the video.